Digital screens are blinding my eyes. I'm looking for the comfort of the painted skies. The notifications are a constant heavy drum, making me feel so incredibly alone. I wanna pull the plug and turn off the phone and travel back to the place I belong, where the music was physical, heavy and real, and taught my analog heart how to feel. The modern world is running too fast for my soul, taking a cynical, invisible toll. I'm tired of the swipe and I'm tired of the screen. I wanna return to the vintage scene. I wanna rewind the years back to the start and unbreak this heavy digital heart. Rewind the years to the cassette days, lost inside the beautiful purple haze. I'll press the button and listen to the sound of the greatest magic that I ever found. The radio plays a distant, muted track. I'm stepping forward, but I'm looking back. I miss the mixtape and the handwritten pen. I wanna go back to exactly then, when a promise was kept and a friend was a friend, before we all rushed to the bitter end. A sanctuary built in a plastic shell, a vintage magic that I know so well. Can we find our way back to the analog light and live forever in the velvet night? I'll keep great unknown. The sky is bleeding into purple and red, echoing all the beautiful things unsaid. We're standing on the edge of the world tonight, watching the final traces of the light. The highway stretches out into the blur, reminding me of exactly who we were. The tape is running out of empty space, leaving the memory of your quiet face. The static is humming a final goodbye underneath the weeping indigo sky. At the fading horizon, we say our farewell, break would sit on the hood of a vintage car, trying to catch a falling distant star. You talked about the dreams you wanted to chase. I saw the entire universe in your face. The sun was faded and the highway split. The brightest fire eventually quit, but I still keep the ashes in a wooden box, protected by a million mental locks. Buildings are new, but the purple horizon still points to you. A bittersweet echo in the velvet dark, the fading trail of a beautiful spark. I remember when the nights were ours, dancing underneath the neon stars. When the nights were ours, young and free, just a beautiful ghost of you and me. We didn't know the future or the heavy price. We were just living in a slice of paradise. Nights were ours. Nights were ours. The cord is tangled up around my heavy hand. I'm calling you from a lonely, distant land. The room is dark and the house is asleep. I have a beautiful promise I wanted to keep. I didn't want to wait for the morning to break. I needed to know that you were fully awake. The static is humming a familiar low tune under the watch of a painted silver moon. It's just a copper wire and a plastic shell, but it's casting a beautiful analog spell. The physical distance completely melts away when I hear the quiet things you have to say. These are the analog whispers in the dark, fuel in the fire, the original spark. Analog whispers, skin on skin. This is exactly where the heaven begins. I don't need to see the expression on your face. I'm perfectly held in this isolated space. The synthesizer bends in the lonely sweet sigh underneath the heavy invisible sky. You tell me about the shadows dancing on your wall, catching every single tear before they fall. We don't need a shout and we don't need to cry. We just let the beautiful hours pass by. A vintage connection permanently sealed, the absolute truth beautifully revealed. across the oceans and the distant skies, searching for a fire in a stranger's eyes. I navigated cities made of glass and steel, looking for a magic that was truly real. I walked right past the familiar street, ignoring the steady, comfortable beat. I was blind to the gold that was in my hand, wandering lost in a desert of sand. The static is breaking, the signal is clear. The greatest treasure was always right here. It's shifting the lens, a change in the light, turning my blindness into sight. I finally see what I never saw before. You were the key to the heavy locked door. What I never saw hidden in plain view was the quiet, steady devotion of you. I chased the illusions, I chased the ghosts, but you are the reality I love the most. We've shared 1,000 coffees in this little room. You chased away the shadows and the midnight gloom. You listened to my crazy digital dreams and helped me sew the torn and broken seams. How did I miss the beauty of your grace? The entire universe written on your face. I'm dropping the telescope, closing the map, falling safely into your gentle lap. Securely in the love we've played. I finally see what I never saw before. You were the key to the heavy locked door. What I never saw hidden in plain view was the quiet, steady devotion of you. I chased the illusions, I chased the ghosts, but you are the reality I love the most. What I never saw finally clear. What I never saw was always here. I never believed in the cinematic scenes or the overly dramatic magazine routines. I thought that the world was practical and gray, just a sequence of waking and sleeping away. But then you walked in with a casual grace and painted new colors all over the place. The I find myself smiling at nothing at all, waiting impatiently for you to call. The neon lights look like a garden of glass. I watch all the beautiful miracles pass. We don't need a map to navigate through, because every direction is pointing to you. It's easy and natural, soft as a breeze, bringing my restless heart to its knees. I surrender completely to this gentle groove, with nothing to hide and nothing to prove. A vintage perfection, a perfect design, the absolute joy of your hand in mine. This must be love, flowing so deep, a beautiful promise I'm going to keep. This must be love, steady and bright, guiding me safely out of the night. No fireworks needed, no heavy drum, just the sweet realization of what we've become. Must be love, must be love. I'm glad you're here. The ceiling fan is moving in a slow-mo spin. I don't know where you end or where I begin. The evening sun is painting us in pastel gold, a silent story waiting to be told. We haven't spoken for an hour or two, just swimming in the deep and velvet blue. The analog clock forgot to tick away, caught inside the beauty of the fading day. Gravity has left this quiet room, replacing all the shadows and the gloom with a frequency of peace I've never known, a secret sanctuary of our own. I want to stay just like this, frozen in time, a perfect melody, a flawless rhyme, just like this, soft and profound, floating inches above the heavy ground. Let the outside world continue to spin. This is the only place I want to be in. I watch the dust motes dancing in the light before the evening surrenders to the night. Your breathing is a rhythm, steady and deep, a beautiful promise that I'm gonna keep. We don't need a photograph to catch the scene, it's printed on my mind so disconnected safely from the city's horns. I want to stay just like this, frozen in time, a perfect melody, a flawless rhyme, just like this, soft and profound, floating inches above the heavy ground. Let the outside world continue to spin. This is the only place I want to be in. Just like this. Just like this. Where we will I saw you standing by the record store, looking exactly like you did before. The same old jacket and the same old smile. It's been a really, really long while. I hesitated by the avenue, wondering if I should walk up to you. But the universe has a funny way of bringing back the ghost of yesterday. The tape rewinds to 1984, a sudden knock upon a closed door. I thought the fire had turned into ash, but memories are hidden in the cache. After all this time, the feeling remains, a quiet echo in the purple rain. After all this time, the signal is strong, like a missing verse to a favorite song. I'm falling back into the neon haze, lost inside your familiar gaze. We grab a coffee and we talk so slow about the places that we used to go. The arcade hall and the midnight drive, the moments that made us feel alive. The years between us start to blur and fade under the cover of the synth face shade. It's like we simply paused the video and picked it up exactly where we let it go. Is it an illusion? Is it just a glitch? A sudden spark from a broken switch? I don't really care what the logic says. I'm happy living in these vintage days. After all this time, the feeling remains, a quiet echo in the purple rain. After all this time, the signal is strong, like a missing verse to a favorite song. I'm falling back into the neon haze, lost inside your familiar is this empty room. I turn the volume up so high to drown the stars within your eyes. The analog heart begins to beat to the pulse of every empty street.
Punch the clock at exactly 5 o'clock and left the heavy paperwork upon the block. I traded in the tie for a leather coat with a beautiful melody caught in my throat. The sidewalk is a stage and I'm the leading man, executing perfectly my analog plan. The neon signs are pointing exactly where ultraviolet glow. The Monday morning blues are a million miles away. I'm totally erasing the cynical modern gray. I slide a cassette in the deck and turn it high, riding underneath the velvet painted sky. I'm a weekend legend, walking down the street, moving perfectly to the guitar plays a sharp a beat hook. I'm ripping every page from the cynical rule book. I meet you at the corner under the flashing light, ready to conquer the magic of the night. We walk into the club and the music gets loud, standing out beautifully from the heavy crowd. A vintage confidence, incredibly sweet, making the victory beautifully complete. the blue. My entire empire is built around this groove, a masterpiece painted in magenta and gold. A beautiful story that never gets old. I'm a weekend legend, walking down the street, moving perfectly to the analog beat. A weekend legend, wild and free, the absolute ruler of the digital sea. I don't need a crown and I don't need a throne. I'm making the entire city my own. Weekend legend, keep on moving. Weekend legend, just keep on grooving. I used to walk with a steady stride, with all my secrets tucked away inside. I was the master of the midnight glare, acting like I simply didn't care. I wore the jacket in the dark shades too, to keep the world from getting a view. But then you walked into my neon scene, the most beautiful girl I've ever
the exhaustion painted on your face, running a heavy, invisible race. The shadows are long and the night is cold. A difficult story that's getting too old. But you don't have to stumble in the dark anymore. I'm standing right here by the open door. Drop the heavy bags and leave the past. I've got a sanctuary built to last. The static is breaking, the signal is clear. You have absolutely nothing to fear. I'm gonna shine tonight to guide you home. You never have to walk this world alone. I'm gonna shine tonight, a beacon of gold, to keep you warm from the winter cold. the porch light burning through the night, a tiny beacon in the fading light. I promised I'd stay right here in this place, watching the shadows move across the space. My friends say I'm crazy living in the past, holding on to a dream that was never built to last. But they don't know the frequency of our song, and they don't know where my spirit belongs. I'm just waiting for you in the indigo blue, with nothing else in the world to do. Waiting for you while the seasons fade, safe inside the memories we made. A vintage loyalty, quiet and deep, a beautiful promise I'm going to keep. The radio plays a whisper of a track, reminding me that you might never come back. I dust off the records and arrange the room, chasing away the suffocating gloom. I wonder if you're looking at the very same moon, humming the words to our favorite tune, or if you've forgotten the analog spark and left me completely alone in the dark. Invisible weight, but I am a master of the waiting state. I'll sit by the window and watch the rain fall, hoping to hear your familiar call. I'm just waiting for you in the indigo blue, with nothing else in the world to do. Waiting for you while the seasons fade, safe inside the memories we made. A vintage loyalty, quiet and deep, a beautiful promise I'm going to keep. Waiting for you. Waiting for you. Waiting for you. We didn't write letters in an elegant ink, we didn't buy the diamonds or the heavy pink, we didn't make a promise on a crowded street. We found a different way to make it all complete. I recorded a melody from the radio dial, hoping it would bring you a beautiful smile. I passed the plastic box across the schoolyard grass, watching the heavy cynical hours pass. You listen to the lyrics in your darkened room, chasing away the artificial heavy gloom. You recorded your answer on the very next track, and that was the moment we were never turning back. This is a magnetic love story, wild and true, painted in the shades of the indigo blue. A magnetic
triumphant slow hum. We're marching to a singular vintage drum. We built an entire language out of synths and bass, a telepathic wiry empty space. Every time the ribbon stretched or the audio popped, it was just another moment that the heavy world stopped. A sanctuary built in a plastic cassette, a vintage magic that I cannot forget. Swipe on the digital screens, where the absolute rulers of the analog scenes, a permanent tether, solid as stone. We're never walking this planet alone. This is a magnetic love story, wild and true, painted in the shades of the indigo blue. A magnetic love story, I was cruising down the highway, fighting off the sleep, listening to the DJ with a voice so low and deep. The streetlights were a rhythm of yellow and of gray. I was trying hard to wash the heavy day away. Then the music slowly faded, and the static cleared the air, and I heard a familiar whisper floating beautifully there. You called the midnight station from a lonely, darkened room to chase away my shadows and the artificial gloom. You spoke my name softly across the analog wire and set my tired spirit on a quiet vintage fire. You dedicated a melody to the miles I have to drive, making me feel incredibly, beautifully alive. We're broadcasting the frequency heavy race. I found my heaven in this quiet space. A public confession on a solitary night, making the broken pieces perfectly right. We're broadcasting the frequency of hearts tonight, bathing the city in a warm and golden light. The frequency of hearts across the velvet blue, a telepathic ribbon connecting me to you. I turn the volume up and I park the heavy car, listening to your love song underneath the shining star. Frequency of hearts. Frequency of hearts. I feel you near. The sun is dipping low behind the ocean line. We're sipping on a bottle of a cheap sweet wine. The dashboard radio is playing something slow, a beautiful classic from a long time ago. You've got your sunglasses resting on your head, smiling at the foolish little things I said. We're driving nowhere fast upon the coastal breeze, bringing my restless spirit to its knees. The colors of the sky are pink and tangerine, the absolute best movie that I've ever seen. No complicated drama, no heavy dark disguise, just a sweet reflection inside your eyes. You are my cherry babe, sweet and classical, breaking every single modern cynical rule. My cherry babe in the golden fading light, making everything perfectly alright. A vintage flavor that I never want to lose. My favorite remedy for the purple blues. We pull the car over by the sandy shore. I don't think I've ever wanted anything more. You're wearing my jacket against the evening chill. The entire universe is incredibly still. We don't need a filter for this analog scene. It's perfectly painted and perfectly clean. I'm collecting these moments in a wooden box, secured by a million gentle mental locks. Let the cities rush and let the traffic jam. I'm perfectly happy exactly where I am. A retro replay running on an endless loop, a beautiful dive and a graceful swoop. You are my cherry babe, sweet and classical, breaking every single modern cynical rule. My cherry babe in the golden fading light, making everything perfectly alright. A vintage flavor that I never want to lose. My favorite remedy for the purple blues. Cherry babe, cherry babe.
to linger in there. I'm chasing down the signal, trying to find the source, but time is just a river, following its course. If words could bring you back, I'd talk until the dawn. I'd rewrite every chapter since the day that you were gone. I'd scream into the neon, I'd break the silent sky, just to hear you whisper one more sweet goodbye. If words could bring you back. The cassettes are tangled in a silver web, watching as the tide of the memory starts to ebb. A retro future vision, where you're still by my side, with nowhere left to run and nowhere left to Can you hear me through the static? Can you feel the pulse tonight? I'm burning like a signal fire in the middle of the night. If words could bring you back, I'd talk until the dawn. I'd rewrite every chapter since the day that you were gone. I'd scream into the neon, I'd break the silent sky, just to hear you whisper one more sweet goodbye. If words could bring you back, bringing 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 you back. Just a ghost in the machine, a dream that I have seen. If words could bring you back. The noisy world has finally gone to sleep. We have a beautiful secret we can keep. The shadows fall across the wooden floor. We don't need the outside anymore. You breathe so softly, resting on my arm, a perfect sanctuary from the harm. The digital clocks have all forgotten time, caught inside a beautiful silent rhyme. shooting star cut across the sky, a brilliant flash of silver in the blink of an eye. It didn't stick around to illuminate the dark. It only left the memory of a beautiful spark. We try to catch the lightning in a heavy glass jar and keep the perfection exactly where we are. But the universe is written in a transient ink. It changes its colors before we can even think. Gravity is a river that continues to flow with absolutely nowhere else to go. I open my hands and I let it release, finding the center of my analog piece. It was beautiful, even in the fleeting seconds. Sudden magic that the universe beckons. Fleeting seconds, fading in the blue, a temporary masterpiece of me and you. I won't try to hold it or lock it away. I'll just be grateful for the light of the day. The synthesizer plays a heavenly slow chord, a quiet surrender and a sweet reward. We shared a look across the crowded, noisy room and chased away the artificial heavy gloom. It lasted for a minute, maybe even less, a beautiful escape from the modern stress, a telepathic wire connecting us to a highway of stars leading straight to you. Let the tape roll on, don't press the pause. We are subject to the universe's laws. A masterpiece painted in silver and gold, a timeless story that can never be sold. It was beautiful, even in the fleeting seconds, a sudden magic that the universe beckons. Fleeting seconds, fading in the blue, a temporary masterpiece of me and you. I won't shop is crowded out of the rain. I'm standing in the line to ease the morning pain. I turn around to find an empty, quiet seat, and suddenly my analog heart forgets to beat. You're sitting by the window in a vintage coat. A sudden heavy lump is caught inside my throat. It's been 1,000,000 miles and 1,000 days since we got lost inside the purple haze. I take a breath and slowly walk across the floor, opening a long forgotten heavy door. You look up from your book and catch my eye underneath the weeping indigo sky. Hello again, after all this passing time. A broken melody, finding a perfect rhyme. Hello again, it's funny how the universe spins, bringing us exactly to where we begin. I don't know what to say or what to do, but it's incredibly beautiful to look at you. We stumble through the weather and the how have you been, navigating through the old and faded scenes. You still have that habit of biting your lip when the careful, polite conversations slip. The years are painted silver in our hair, but the original frequency is resting there. The diana fades away into a velvet blur, and for a second we are who we always were. Just a passing glitch or a brand new channel on the analog switch, but sitting here across from you today, all the cynical shadows wash away. Hello again, after all this passing time. A broken melody, finding a perfect rhyme. Hello again, it's funny how the universe spins, bringing us exactly to where we begin. I don't know what to say or what to do, but it's incredibly beautiful to look at you. Hello again, it's been so long. Hello again, in this quiet song. We pulled the car beneath the overpass, watching the water wash the windshield glass. The heaters humming low and steady drone. We are completely, beautifully alone. The world is drowning in the purple flood, but we are safe inside this analog world. Let the traffic stall, let the power fade. We're hiding in the sanctuary we made. No place to be, nowhere left to go. Just watching the heavy city rivers flow. Let it rain on us, let the water fall. We are safely hidden behind a velvet wall. Let it rain on us, wash the gray away. We're pausing the cassette tape of the day. I hold you closely in the dashboard light and listen to the rhythm of the weeping night. You rest your heavy head upon my tired arm, protected entirely from the outside harm. The street lights flicker in a golden hue, reflecting in the quiet eyes of you. I don't need the sunshine or the summer breeze. The pouring rain puts my spirit at its ease. A vintage isolation perfectly complete, while the storm rages on the empty street. We're a submarine at the bottom of the sea, a secret dimension just for you and me. Don't turn the key, don't start the engine yet. Let's see how beautifully lost we can get. Let it rain on us, let the water fall. We are safely hidden behind a velvet wall. Let it rain on us, wash the gray away. We're pausing the cassette tape of the day. I'll hold you closely in the dashboard light and listen to the rhythm of the weeping night. Rain on us, safe in the dark. Rain on us, protecting the spark. I turned off the lamps and I pulled the blind, leaving the heavy Russian day behind. The living room is completely swallowed in dark, except for a tiny electronic spark. The amplifier's glowing a steady green, the most peaceful picture I have ever seen. You're sitting beside me on the velvet floor, and I don't wanna ask for anything more. The frequency meters bounce to the beat, a quiet victory inside a defeat. The physical world is entirely till the breaking dawn. Under the radio light, soft and low, where the gentle rivers of the midnight flow. Under the radio light, safe from the cold, a beautiful story that never gets sold. We're bathed in the colors of the stereo dial, sharing a secret. Are humming a cinematic slow jam. I'm perfectly happy exactly where I am. I reach out my hand and I find yours there. A sudden electricity in the air. No need to turn on the harsh yellow lights. We are the rulers of the analog nights. The red LEDs reflect in your eyes. A million beautiful and sweet replies. Sanctuary built from plastic and wire, burning with a vintage quiet fire. Under the radio light, soft and low, where the gentle rivers of the midnight flow. Under the radio light, safe from the cold, a beautiful story that never gets sold. We're bathed in the colors of the stereo dial, sharing a secret. The suitcase clicked and the door was closed. A sudden ending that I never supposed. You wore a jacket and a casual smile, like we were just parting for a little while. No dramatic speeches, no quiet tears, racing the history of our golden years. You walked to the taxi in the pouring rain, leaving me alone with the analog pain. The static is loud in this empty space. I'm looking for a reason in the quiet place. I thought we were anchored in the deep blue sea, but you drifted away so effortlessly. You made goodbye sound easy, soft and light, a casual whisper in the fading night. You made goodbye sound easy, a simple line, leaving this broken, heavy heart of mine. I'm standing completely in the neon gray, wondering how you walk so smoothly away. I play the mixtape that you made for me, a bitter reminder of our history. The synthesizer hums a happy tune, mocking my sorrow underneath the moon. Did you practice the exit in the mirror glass, watching the beautiful illusion pass? Because you didn't stumble and you didn't stall, like you never really loved me at all. door, but the question is burning in the quiet dark. How did you so easily extinguish the spark? You make goodbye sound easy, soft and light, a casual whisper in the fading night. You make goodbye sound easy, a simple line, leaving this broken, heavy heart of mine. I'm standing completely in the neon gray, wondering how you walk so smoothly away. Easy goodbye, easy goodbye. Like we never kissed. I'm staring at the ceiling in the empty room, lost in the middle of the midnight gloom. My mind is a projector running incredibly slow, playing the movies from a long time ago. The colors are washed in a heavy sad pink. I'm caught in a loop and I'm starting to sink. I watch you smile and I watch you turn, a beautiful fire that continues to burn. The tape is stretching and the sound is thin. I can't remember where the tears begin. A beautiful illusion in the haze, lost inside the vintage golden days. I put the memory on an endless replay, washing the cynical present away. Endless replay, stuck inside the groove, with absolutely nowhere else I wanna move. I'll press the button and listen to the sound of the greatest magic that I ever found. The radio plays a distant, muted track. I'm stepping forward, but I'm looking back. We're dancing in slow motion in the summer rain, without a single trace of hidden pain. I know that the physical world has moved on. I know that the daylight is finally drawn, but I built a sanctuary in my analog mind, leaving the modern heavy logic behind. Can we find our way back to the start and unbreak this head?